have a few things I want to talk about this morning. And, well, it's noon actually, isn't it? I want to talk about a few things today, and I'm just waiting a moment because I'm live streaming to Facebook as well as Instagram. So sometimes it just takes a moment. Looks like things are working though. Let me double check. It looks like it. Looks like it's working. If you're here, and you could leave a little note so that I know that it's working, that would be great. Just saying, hey, I'm here, I'm on, and where you're listening from, that would be great too. And today what I want to talk about is some wisdom from the yoga tradition that I think is really helpful during uncertain times. So, and I'll kind of give you some background information on where this came from. So yesterday I sent out an email to my list of wonderful, wonderful people and said, hey, I'm going to be doing this 5-day challenge. It starts on Saturday, and I'd love to know, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to cover, And my inbox this morning, I think I had about 300 emails in my inbox today. So I couldn't answer all of them, but I've gone through and sort of like looked at what people were asking for. And there's one of the main themes that was coming out was anxiety. And what followed from that was teach us some pranayama for anxiety. Of course, right? So anxiety and pranayama. And then just the next piece was uncertainty and self-doubt. And I thought, uncertainty and self-doubt, that's where we are right now. It's everybody knows this, very unusual, but let's remember it's also a traumatizing experience that we're in the middle of right now. We are in the middle of a mass global trauma. And so what does the yoga tradition have to offer us from that place? And one of the things I've been contemplating since last night and I started reading all of these emails, one of the things I've been contemplating is what some of the medieval tantric texts talk about are the petals of the chakras, right? And each petal of the chakra has a different sound, and that sound is considered kind of like a little seed, or bija, a little seed or a little acoustic root, if you like, of a particular mental emotional tendency. And so one of the petals, there's 12 petals in the heart center, and one of the petals is hope. And I was just thinking about how essential that to be in that mind state of hope. Right now, it's just like, that's what we need, because the enemy of hope, of course, is despair or cynicism or depression or, those are all the things that extinguish the light of hope. But right now, I believe that what we're called to, particularly those of us who really are advocates for the yoga profession and for yoga in the world, out there in the world, I think that what we're called to right now is to be these beacons of hope and to help lift other people up. Now, I'm not suggesting that if you're struggling so much yourself that, you need to be out there, because that's too much. That's not what I'm suggesting. But what I am suggesting is we need to find that inner hope within ourselves, and then we need to share that with other people. We need other people to experience that possibility for hope, because the reality is that you are the future. Really, I don't mean that in sort of a new agey way. What I mean is that we have this potential to make really big strides in the world right now. We have the potential, as yoga teachers, we have the potential to help people feel that self-regulation and get more in the front brain so that they can make good decisions and move forward. So that, you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying like we just as a yoga community are going to fix it, but we have the potential to inspire. We have the potential to help people to come back into themselves, to feel the sense of hope and optimism and positivity, and how that is what overcomes the darkness. And this is so common in the tradition. It's everywhere in the tradition. This idea that light overcomes darkness. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, right? The light overcomes the tamas. The jyoti overcomes the darkness, the tamas, right? Light overcomes the darkness, and we have to inspire each other for that to start to come into fruition. We have the potential for doing that. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to mention today as I'm talking about this idea of hope and inspiration, which is that yesterday I had a conversation with a yoga teacher, and we were talking about how this common sort of sentiment among yoga teachers, which can be something like, I'm just a yoga teacher. Have you ever said that? I'm just a yoga teacher. You know, ouch. But sometimes we have this idea that what we do is not important. Like, it's dispensable, disposable. It's something that, you know, you can be some kind of a fitness teacher and go do a weekend of yoga and teach yoga. You know, that's been very common in the culture, and it's problematic. But, you know, for those of us who are serious about the tradition and serious about the practice, we have to stop saying I'm just a yoga teacher and think of ourselves as some kind of, you know, leisure time activity. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with leisure time activity. It's actually good. But think somehow that that's inferior, you know, and somehow there are other people out there in the world doing much more important things than we're doing. We have to stop that thinking, because you have no idea how much you've changed the world. I'm absolutely certain you have changed the world, and you have no idea how much you've done it. Occasionally a student will come up and say, hey, I remember you said that thing in a class and that changed the way I was thinking about something, and then I made this change in my relationship, or I made this change in my work, or I did this thing at my work, you know. Those kinds of things you want to really hold on to, because that's how you're changing the world. You're changing the world by helping people to feel confident in themselves, to come home to themselves, and to remember something very important. And this loops back to this idea of optimism and hope. And what is this thing that's so important? It's that you and me and the students that we teach and most of the people in the world, probably 95, 99% of the people in the world, are good and ethical. And they want something healthy and happy for themselves, for their families, for others. Most people are good. And when we hold on to that, then we can sort of break through all the nonsense and the fake news and the, you know, and just the blather that's going on out there, you know, this and that. That stuff is just sort of the stuff that we pay attention to because of the vigilant state of the nervous system that's meant to protect us, you know. So then we pay attention to everything and we go, oh my God, I can't believe anything. I don't believe anything, and I can't trust anyone. Yes, you can. You could trust most people. Most people are good, you know. And then there are some malevolent forces out there that are certainly doing things that are not good. But guess what? The hope and the positivity and the light that you shine in however you do that, if it's teaching yoga, if it's doing something else, however you shine that, that is what overcomes the darkness. Time and time again, every movie that's been, you know, every epic movie that's been made is about that concept. And it's real. And so when we hold on to that with a sense of optimism, that's when we can feel like we are moving ourselves into the future. There are not forces around us that are controlling us. We can determine who we are, you know, self-determination. We can internalize our sense of our locus of control. And that doesn't mean things outside of us aren't going to be rocky and difficult. That doesn't mean spiritual bypassing is a good idea. None of that. What it means is that we have this outlook and this framework that means we have resilience and we can deal with whatever life throws at us. And that's what I want to leave with you with today, is you are your own inspiration. You are the inspiration for so many people if you're a yoga teacher. Do never, ever doubt the power of what you're doing. And remember that the future is so bright. It's so bright, you know, like in that 80s song, I gotta wear shades, it's so bright. There's so much hope for the future. Hold on to the hope in your heart chakra. We don't get hope in our brains. It's in our bodies. It's in the heart. It comes from the heart. And it's gonna be what takes us forward. So thanks so much for listening to me today. Feel free to leave a comment or a question, and I hope I see you on Saturday at my brand new 5-day challenge that starts at 5 p.m. on Eastern time on Saturday. Namaste.